Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Limis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Police executes one arrest at the Garapan Casino. The other burglary suspect may still be at large. Also tonight, on-island drug addiction treatment may be lessened. And MCS Nights tell a touching story about finding your voice. In sports, weightlifting runs in the family for this young star. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, January 27, 2023. The nearly abandoned casino was stripped by burglary suspects for copper wire and construction materials. Police arrived on the scene, making one arrest. The CNMI Department of Public Safety was called to the Imperial Pacific International Casino this afternoon. The building was surrounded by armed police officers.
At this time, as you can see behind me, we have the law enforcement, Department of Public Safety, with the RRT as well. There's a possible suspect in the building. I can't tell why they're here until further notice.
About an hour later, an arrest was made. According to IPI Human Resources business partner Hao Yao Chi, security saw two individuals entering the casino at around 9 a.m. today. Chi says copper wires and construction materials have been stolen from the casino over the past weeks.
As soon as they saw the guy, looks like they climbed the fence to come in and called the police, and then the police surrounded the casino. And I think it lasted 3 to 4 hours. They finally just left, and they caught one guy, so one of two was apprehended.
She believes there are two males involved in the theft.
Mostly construction materials, generator, copper wires. As soon as I have more, I can get the info and I'll let you know. Okay, yeah, that's what we have so far.
Responding authorities were the Criminal Investigation Division and the Rapid Response Team.
They are like threat team. They go in the building first, see if there's threat or no threat, and then if everything is clear, that's when they can further pursue what's going on today.
There is currently no information on the burglary suspects. We'll be sure to have more details of this case on Monday. Why is addiction treatment important? Who does it affect? And what can we do to help those who are seeking help? The Hope Recovery Center faces a possible shutdown and the prosecution office is not pleased. Due to the dire financial crisis, the CNMI may soon see a bunch of cuts in government employment and closure of programs in the coming months. The Hope Recovery Center under the Substance Abuse Addiction and Rehabilitation Program might just be one of them. Chief Prosecutor Chester Hines stresses that treatment should be considered an essential service in the community.
Hope shutting down would be a major blow to the treatment community in the CNMI. The treatment community right now is very small as it is. The needs of people who have addiction issues or even mental health issues are probably not getting addressed the way that they should.
Hines says that addiction is a lifelong situation. Currently, the CNMI has a drug court program that provides tools to those who deal with addiction. The Hope Center then becomes a safe place for those in recovery. Currently, there are participants in the drug court program and the mental health court who reside in the Hope Center.
What happens to those people if the Hope program goes away, I have no idea. Because then do they go back to the streets? Do they go back to families that might not be able to accommodate them, not be able to understand or deal with their issues?
Hines states the prosecution office sees a number of criminal cases that stems from drug addiction.
Probably the majority of our cases have something to do with some sort of addiction. And if we close Hope and we're overwhelming the other treatment facilities on island, then we're doing a disservice to the community. We're going to see crime. Crime is already something that is something that we have to deal with on a daily basis. You know, we are seeing people walk the streets with mental health issues, with addiction issues. They have no place to go. We're seeing all this happen, and like I said before, Hope should be something that is expanded and not shut down.
The Hope Center is an inpatient facility for individuals with addiction. Services provided in the center include individual therapy, group sessions, family education, and life skills. Individuals are also taught medication management. Hines says success rates are hard to put into numbers, but real conversations with those in the program is what pushes him to advocate for this service.
This person was asked why they're doing so much better now than they were before. They have a lot of sober days now, and that person said, you know, the reason why I'm doing so much better now and I value my sobriety so much more now is my time that I spent at Hope, because that gives that person the time to actually consider what they're doing with their life, and to be able to turn themselves around, and that's what treatment is for. And Hope gave people that opportunity.
The fate of IPI is unknown until this day, and now the CCC is in the same situation. Despite an empty and dark office, the Commonwealth Casino Commission held its monthly general meeting on Thursday. CCC Chairman Edward DeLon Guerrero was off island but was in attendance virtually, joined by 3 other commissioners, their legal counsel, and executive assistant to the commission. Commissioner Rafael Damapon is the acting chairman.
The purpose of our meeting is to as required by statutory and regulatory, we should have a monthly meeting every end of the month. So we would like to have our legal counsel updating the commissioners on the status on the pending cases in court, and also to discuss issues pertains to the office. And as we all know, the cinema is in dire need of financial. So because of that, we are going to discuss as to the fate also of the office and the staff.
The administration sent out a memorandum calling for the resignation of all board members and commissions, even for autonomous agencies. Damapon says they are still continuing to meet to assist the administration with the casino issue.
Customarily, every new governor will write that down to the autonomous agencies. 18 Public Law 1856 no mandates us to, and of course, the statutory and the regulations. So we have to keep in mind that we are not an employee. So, the commissioners are here to see how we can assist the government in making sure that, we realize revenue so that our government and, of course, to help the administrations know.
Demapon informed the commission that their request to then Governor Ralph Torres requesting funding for payroll did not materialize and funds are completely depleted. Normally, officials from Imperial Pacific International would attend the meetings, giving them updates on the casino and where it stands. But the matter remains in the federal court's hands.
Well, at this point, we just have to wait for the pending litigation in court. So, and this is why we have our legal counsel to update the commissioners as to the status of those.
The commissioners then moved into executive session shortly after the meeting began to discuss the court status and the fate of the office. Local homeland officials undergo training with an internationally recognized agency. Officials from the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service held a critical asset risk management training for emergency response officers in the NMI. TEAX is recognized around the region and abroad for emergency response training, workforce training, and technical assistance.
We had the opportunity here to have FEMA classes presented to us by the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Services. And the goal of this class is to help, our folks and their skills to better keep the citizens of the CNMI safe.
About 30 personnel from Homeland, Customs, and NMHC registered for the one-week class held at the Pacific Islands Club. The goal was to be able to identify hazards in a public place.
The people at the Pacific Islands Club were nice enough to show us around and how things operate. And we were able to do a physical assessment as well as going around and identifying, any potential hazards that may occur here at PIC.
TEAX will continue to hold courses in critical infrastructure resilience and community lifelines and critical infrastructure security and resilience awareness until February 2nd. All right, coming up, Abu Dhabi entertainers ensure that you get a performance you won't ever forget about. Stay tuned.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Mount Carmel Knights puts on a show that will teach the audience about inclusion and respect. The theater club from Mount Carmel School presents its next theatrical production called True Colors. Senior student and director of the play, Kyla Cabrera.
So True Colors is an original story. It's a jukebox musical, and it's written based on a girl on the autism spectrum who's at this new school full of the stereotypical bullies and stuff. And she's trying to find her voice. She is nonverbal, so she tries to find her place in the new school through music.
The script for True Colors was written by Theater Club founder Galvin Delon Guerrero.
Well, this story is very personal to me because my daughter's on the autism spectrum. And it was a challenge at first because it's so raw, but at the same time, it was incredibly uplifting and empowering because I'm helping these students, these cast and crew members, tell a story and share an important message about being more inclusive and accepting. And to me, it's not just about accepting, it's about celebrating difference, and that's why we use the idea of colors, representing the many colors of the spectrum, the many colors of the rainbow. The name True Colors operates on many levels, and I think it's turned out quite beautiful.
According to Cabrera, the production play is mixed with elements from the movie The Greatest Showman.
So he asked me what I loved the most about the show, and I said how the feeling of being lost is really is shown during The Greatest Showman, and how that feeling of loss is pushed to have more other people who feel lost kind of find each other, and they have this love, and that's my take, and that's a story I wanted to tell. And so Dr. G made this amazing new story to put that feeling of loss and finding the people who make you accept yourself to True Colors. So that's how the story came.
To help ensure that the show was sensitive towards disabilities, the school partnered with the Cinemized University Centers for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities Director Eileen Babauta to help them learn more about creating a more inclusive and accessible atmosphere for everyone.
That since our main character is on the autism spectrum and we cover other disabilities in our show, our challenge was to properly depict those disabilities and treat it with respect, not as a mockery, because these are people in these groups of people are in our life, they're in us, they're within our families, and we want to treat that with so much respect.
The MCS Theater Club was founded in the late 90s, producing a variety of musical plays. Dr. G, who was the founder, says a lot could be said and learned through these productions.
I've just been so inspired by the talent, the skill, and the commitment and the passion of these students that it's contagious. I'm addicted to it. I keep coming back because I'm so moved when I see them create magic on stage. But also for me personally, I believe that stories have the power to unite us. Stories have the power to, of course, entertain us, but also educate us and help us understand things that we might not understand, and ultimately inspire us to be better and do better and live better.
Bernice Shane Sabino will be playing the lead role as Iris, who is the central character of the story who is on the autism spectrum. True Colors will be presented tonight, January 27, and tomorrow night, January 28, at the Pacific Islands Club, Charlie's Cabaret. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $25 for limited premium seats and $10 for admission. You can call 234-6184 for more information. If you go to local island dinner shows, you are familiar with the fire dancers. Tonight, a solo performance that could be very dangerous to your health will be featured. Let's take a look.
Now, it is Friday, and we've been known to get a little crazy on the day that ushers in the weekend. This Friday is no different. I do want to warn viewers that if you get a little nauseous watching people drink gasoline or lighter fluid or some sort of flammable fluid, you might want to turn your head away. Radio listeners, you'll be okay. You'll just be wondering what we were talking about as you listen to loud, overmodulated desert music for the next minute or two. And I definitely want to say to everyone, don't try this at home. Don't try it on the road. Don't try it anywhere. I checked with our KSPN lawyer, and I think we're covered now. This fellow definitely deserves some hazard pay, though. This is not a thirsty 2-ouncer he is drinking from. I called him Dragon Man from the desert of Dubai.
Take
making your heart.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Opioids are commonly prescribed drugs. They can help ease short-term pain after surgery, an accident, or illness. Common brand names include Vicodin, Demerol, OxyContin, and Percocet. Opioids can be very addictive, and they can actually change how your brain works. Opioid misuse can lead to death. If you are prescribed an opioid medication, talk to your doctor. Always take exactly as directed, never take higher doses, keep your medication secure, and safely dispose of unused or expired medication. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Freshness. It's the overall reason beer drinkers choose draft beer. And that's the reason Godfather's is making a serious commitment to offering their customers a full lineup of draft beer on tap. Choose from Lagunitas IPA, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Lost Coast Downtown Brown Ale, Fat Tire, Blue Moon, and more. All competitively priced. Godfather's Bar now serving the island's widest selection of ice cold beer right from the tap. Godfather's Bar, where everybody's family.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Our young star for this evening is a middle schooler who has beaten records and hopes to break some more. Milan Goodwin has this story.
If something stands between you and your success, move it. Never be denied. A quote from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Tonight, we meet a young star who adopted the family sport of weightlifting and aspires to only get better. Here is Jaden Andrew.
My name is Jaden Andrew. I'm 13 and I go to Dandan Middle School.
Jaden is a weightlifter. He started lifting a little over a year ago at age 11. Jaden was inspired to start up the sport by other renowned weightlifters in his family who have competed seriously all over the world.
My uncle and auntie did it, so I thought it would be interesting to try.
Can you talk a little bit more about your uncle and auntie?
My auntie went to the Olympics to Sydney, Australia. And my uncle was Oceania weightlifter.
With encouragement from his family, just this month, Jaden competed in the CNMI weightlifting qualifiers and made a mark. Why was this competition so important for you?
It was to bring me out to the other people and qualify to go Guam.
And so what do you hope to accomplish in Guam?
To beat my records.
But Jaden already has broken records. In the CNMI weightlifting qualifiers, Jaden not only qualified to compete in Guam, but is the youngest of his age to ever qualify from the CNMI. As Jaden trains to break more records in Guam, I'm sure the entire CNMI has his back and wishes him the best of luck.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
What's the move? What's the move?
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Gold's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up. She's gonna descend with control, and from there, just stand tall.
And for the KSPN weather report, mostly sunny with isolated showers, breezy with an east wind 17 to 23 miles per hour and gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 13 to 17 miles per hour and gusts up to 22 miles per hour. High 85, low 79, the humidity 72%. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east-southeast wind 9 to 15 miles per hour and gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. High 85, low 78. The high surf advisory is in effect from 2 p.m. this afternoon to 6 p.m. Saturday along the north and west-facing reefs. Large breaking waves of 8 to 10 feet are expected in the surf zone. High risk of rip currents through Saturday afternoon, dangerous rip currents along the northwest and east-facing reefs. And in the marine forecast, smallcraft advisory is in effect through Saturday afternoon. East winds 15 to 25 knots and seas up to 14 feet along the Marianas coastal waters through 6 p.m. Saturday. Conditions will be hazardous to the small craft. Large northwest swell will lead to strong currents and large surf near harbor entrances exposed to northwest swell. Sunrise 6:46 a.m., high tide 12:08 p.m., low tide 6:52 p.m., and the sunset 6:12 p.m. And that is your Friday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. As always, we thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night and a great weekend. We'll see you back on Monday with more.